Yeah, here's something kids where they stopped teaching kids in history class. During the war of 1776, the forefathers and other people who had soldiers for wars had Gatling guns. Gatling guns were fed with a belt full of bullets instead of a cartridge or a magazine full of bullets. They were semi-automatic. They would crank them. Semi-automatics on a crank. The crank was the trigger that spun the barrel to fire all them shots. Or before they had the belted bullets, they had actual bullets with a shell. They stuck in the barrels, each barrel, and they had a hammer. And when they would when each crank would pull that hammer back, and it would release each crank, and the barrel would spin off of gears. So they had semi-automatics then. They were just big guns called Gatling guns. So they knew we was going to have handguns eventually that would be like that. They just couldn't be invented until, what, 1980s, 1990s? Maybe in the 1970s. But they knew they would eventually be made. They just didn't know how to make them back then. But they did make semi-automatic handguns. They were the old style. Pull the trigger, and the deal that holds all the bullets in it, the 5 or 6 bullets, it would spin it as you pull the trigger. Pow, 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 pow. That's semi-automatic. Even though it had 5 or 6 rounds. Even up to 8 that they made when they made them big enough. They had semi-automatics. I forgot what you call those guns. but revolvers. That's what they were. Before that, they would pull that hammer back. Pow! And it would turn that deal that would revolve around. That's why they called them revolvers. So every time they click it back, it would turn the barrel, and then pow! Well, then they finally figured out how to get it to turn when they pull the trigger. And it'd fire. Yeah, it would when they pull the trigger, it would turn, and the hammer would hit the bullet fast. And they figured out how to do that. Turned revolvers into semi-automatics. They had semi-automatics for 200 years. Or 250 years, maybe 300 years. They had that stuff. People need to get off these semi-automatics, fully automatics. They did not put anything in the Second Amendment that says, oh, these type of weapons, cannons, and because they knew cannons would get better, them balls would hit and blow up. Boom! Like a bomb. They had dynamite. They'd throw dynamites like a bomb. Boom! They were just smaller and didn't expand as far. They still had all this stuff back then. And these kids these days are just brainwashed. Even, the generation right after mine, in which is their Generation X, so Z. We're going by the alphabet. So Generation Z was after Generation X, not millennial. Millennial is the turn of the 1,000 years, 2000. That's millennial. I don't care what they say. Or Generation Y is after X. Generation X and Generation Y. Why did they have that generation? Then Generation Z. They're a bunch of zombies. They've been schooled to be a bunch of zombies to go to work and make money for the rich. These people, I watched one girl in her early 20s sit at the register and count the money 3 times to make sure she counted it right. I mean, there were bills. There weren't coins. She had to sit there and count them 3 times. They're not educating the kids anymore. They're just getting them ready to go into the workforce just to be obedient and obey whoever's above them. Their boss. The teacher is their boss. The principal is their boss. They go into the workforce, that's their boss. They go into the military, that's their boss. Oh, you're voting in the election system, that's your boss. The president. Oh, the governor, you're electing a governor to be in power. That's your boss. The mayor, that's your boss. You're obeying all these stupid people. They're all humans just like you. And you want to sit there and obey another human that ain't your daddy or your mama. When you grow up. You're not acting like a grown adult. You get out the house, you get to do whatever you want, live however you want, put whatever you want in your body. No, you got new parents. You got bosses. You don't do what they say, they punish you. So, when it comes to semi-automatics and fully automatics, they knew they were coming. They knew they were coming. They already had them. So, people need to lay off the Second Amendment, the guns, because the forefathers knew they were coming, or they had to put in the Second Amendment in their clauses and articles and whatever, or however you put it. Articles, sections, and clauses. They had to put that, oh, you can't have this type of gun that's fully automatic. Oh, you can't have this style gun that's used in war. All guns were used in war, just about. Maybe even whatever was little, like 22 bullets. When they first started making guns. Well, yeah, they did have big balls, you know, pretty good size. Maybe big around at the tip of, you know, a big man's finger, 6 foot, or 5'10" and taller. But they had those. Look at BB guns. You actually killed someone with an air BB gun. Come on, people. People are stupid. Bows and arrows. Crossbows. They were used in war. We got to ban those too because people are going to use them. Knives. Swords, machetes, they were all used in war and battle for self-defense, whatever. Offense, just to do it, just to be bad, just because you're bad, you know. You know, these people need to wake up and lay off. All this is just to create more hate, more division, more chaos. And then give the people that's above you, acting like your mama and daddy, more power over you and me and your children and your grandchildren. I guess you don't love your children and your grandchildren. You want them to be controlled by another grown adult when they grow up. You do. You want to be controlled by another grown adult. You're all grown up. Act like one. You all take care. Bye.